Welcome to TRS Clips, where you'll find happiness through your own curiosity. Can you see a person's life when you open up and see the spine?
I love the question. I see the person's life in the multiple hours I've spent with the patient, his family, and his caregivers before I've decided to operate the patient.
But you can see the story in the spine?
The story in the spine is localized to what I believe I can correct under his supervision, because I am not the doer. I'm just an instrument in his hands, and I shall embark on that journey because that is my job or my karma.
You know, one only truly understands death when they see the death of a loved one for the first time. And after the death, you see an emptiness in your own house or in wherever the loved one was present in your own life. Then you understand the power of death. And you also understand the power of life. Now, spine surgeries take a human soul very close to death. That's a fair thing to say.
Absolutely.
My question to you is, when you're operating on someone's spine, do you think God is also present in the operation theater? Because it's such a heavy duty thing you're doing.
You are using God as a specific terminology. I use God as a belief system, which means I need to include the agnostics and the atheist as well.
Sure.
So for me, it's a belief system, and that belief system is very much around, and it is the interdependence of the human who is subjecting himself to a procedure on the person who is executing the procedure under the supervision of this belief system, which makes a surgery reach its final destination.
Do spine surgeries happen without your motor function truly being involved? What I mean to say is, when Virat Kohli hits a cover drive, it's not technically him hitting the cover drive, it's his years of practice. Does surgery work the same way? You just open up a person's body and your hands know what to do. Or do you have to truly put your consciousness there, and is it like art? They're both the same thing, technically. Virat Kohli's cover drive and art, because they both happen in flow states. Do you enter flow state during surgery?
I love the question again. First, I'll take the art part and then I'll come to the competence part.
Sure.
For me, every surgeon is an artist. And he has to be that way. People who use only their hands are laborers. People who use their hands and heads are craftsmen. But people who use their hands, heads, and their heart are artists.
But how do you use your heart in surgery?
Oh my God. That's it. For me, surgery is not execution of the process. For me, surgery begins from the moment he gets into my clinic to the time that he smiles back and says, "Doc, I'm good." So the heart actually is the most important.
Understood.
Because it's the heart that decides the why. It's the head that decides the how. And it's the hands which decide the what. So for me, every surgeon has to be an artist, where the heart has to rule over the head, which has to rule over the hands. Now coming to that second part. Virat Kohli today versus Virat Kohli 15 years back. Ranveer Allahbadia today compared to Ranveer Allahbadia 10 years back. Ram Chaddha today compared to Ram Chaddha 30 years back. So we all go through the same ascending levels of competency. At the first stage, and this happens even after we've got our license to do surgery, let's say 89, we don't know that we don't know something. Okay? Then we reach a stage where we know that we don't know. Then we reach a stage that we know that we know. And finally, we reach this flow stage where even unknowingly we'll do the right thing. It's the level of competency. So you go from unconscious incompetence, where you don't know that you don't know, to a stage of conscious competence, where your colleagues and your patients actually tell you that, listen, you don't know. That's conscious incompetence. You hone your skills, you become consciously competent. That's where most people actually end and stop. They are consciously competent. But it reminds me of people driving the car, getting that driving license, and within the first year. Have you seen them driving? They're looking like this. Everything is disconnected. They are not in flow. The gear change is separate. Looking at the rear view is separate. Giving your indicator is separate. That's conscious competence. And then we reach that stage of unconscious competence. We all go through this as human beings, as professionals, and most so as doctors and surgeons. We reach that stage of unconscious competence. That unconscious competence has to reach a stage where it's not that you have to do it right, but you have to do it so well that you can never ever do it wrong.
Yeah. There's a quote that says, amateurs do it till they get it right. Professionals do it till they can't get it wrong.
That's it.
I think you're talking about one deeper layer than this also, where sometimes you'll just see a very, very new case, even 30 years in, and you'll know exactly what to do. On a very biological level, this is some sort of deep level of pattern recognition that's happening in your own nervous system.
Yes.
As the surgeon.
Yes.
That even if it's something you've not seen before,
Yes.
your AI is able to predict the solution.
Absolutely. It's just like that coconut vendor from whom we buy our coconut water. Before he's chopped that coconut, you tell him, I want the one with the tender coconut and less water, or you want the one with more water and less tender coconut. 99 times out of 100, what he knocks off after that cursory knock on the coconut is the right one for you.
Got it.
That's how it comes.
Hey, if you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out all the other clips we've uploaded on this channel. You'll find a clip related to almost every single topic as long as you're willing to search for it.